Right, Jess. So we're talking about robots that police have had for years now. The difference is officers are now able to equip them with explosives and utilize them as their last resort with the permission of certain high-ranking officers.
What's up, team? It's Hakeem, your Survive You Dean, back with another one. And today we're talking about the news that's coming out of San Francisco. So if you've been paying attention to the story, San Francisco has been trying to, or not trying, they actually did pass some legislation allowing police officers or the police force to be able to use robots in a tactical capacity. And when I say a tactical capacity, I mean using robots to actually kill suspects in extreme situations, of course. And so the idea was if you have someone maybe held up in an area where it's going to be dangerous for humans to go in there, other human law enforcement officers to go in there and try to take this person out, then sending a robot in their place would be the way to go. And that was passed. But then an outcry from the community caused them to rescind the passing of that legislation. And for me personally, being someone who's been in the military and understanding and seeing what drones can do, and as well as the Crow, which was a system, it was an automated or remote control turret that we had on the top of vehicles, and that way we didn't have to have our turret gunner exposed to snipers. So someone would sit in the back seat of the vehicle, use this remote control, and be able to control the turret. And those things saved a lot of lives. And so I'm not 100% against this idea of using robots to do things that could cause a significant loss of human life. The challenge is that there is a really gray line there. I mean, we don't know how far this can go. Once you open up that box, it could just keep going and going and going. And, we see all of these movies from our past that talked about, robots being a part of the society, robots sometimes even taking over societies. And if you were to game and play that out in your mind and say, okay, well, how does something like that even happen? Did we just all wake up one day and robots were just here and they were taking over? Or in those scenarios, in those fictional movies, are these robots slowly introduced to the community through different ways and means, and then at some point, we as human beings start saying, well, it's just easier to let these things do it versus having us do it as human beings. We can go off and do something else. And I kind of feel I lean towards that one, where I look around and we see all of the different things. I mean, even these autonomous cars, even cars that park themselves, or all the other things that, all the things that are on our cell phones now. There was a time where, having your banking information on a phone might have been uncomfortable, but over the years, it's just become commonplace. And so maybe that happens in this type of scenario where, why have police officers getting involved in these high-risk situations when a robot can do it? And that's where that line gets really blurry, where you start saying, well, what's going on here? And we may think that this is crazy to do, but actually about 6 years ago, I believe it's 2016 in Dallas, they were actually the first on record that I know of to actually perform this task, have a robot perform this task. They actually had a situation where a gunman had shot several people and was holding up in a specific location, and everyone felt that it would be very dangerous to send a human being in there, and that most likely if they sent an officer or a group of officers in there, some of them were going to get at least shot or killed. And so they decided to take their bomb robot and they attached some sort of bomb device to it and use that to maneuver through the building to get to where this person was and dispatch that person, take that person out. And that was 6 years ago. So now we're moving forward 6 years, and we're at this stage where people are actually having these deep conversations about, well, what does this look like? And as you can see in this video right here, this is some of the things that they're talking about now. This is actually a video from the San Francisco event.
Robots defuse bombs. They give police a closer look at an active crime scene. And now?
It passes unanimously.
San Francisco's police force will have the ability to use them as potential lethal force options. But that decision wasn't made lightly. We heard passionate arguments and clarifications coming from both sides.
Of course, I don't want any officer to lose their life, but I think that this is the scenarios that we're using are hypotheticals to bring up fear.
These are not autonomous robots. No one's tapping in. These are trained police officers that would utilize a robot.
A new state law now requires law enforcement to have public discussions when acquiring and utilizing military-grade weapons. That's what happened here. And the plan passed only after an amendment clarifies robots would only be used as a lethal option after the use of alternative force and de-escalation tactics, or if police determine they are not able to subdue the threat safely after evaluating other options.
So yeah, as I said, it is pretty intense. It's to think about all the different layers, all the different arguments from both sides. Hey, you know, who's going to make the judgment of who dies by the hands of a robot? And what's their mindset like? And then, you know, how do they see their role in the society and the community? And, you know, is it going to be fair and balanced? Is there enough checks and balances? You know, at what point do we say, well, we're understaffed as a police force, let's just get robots out there doing the job? And that actually is happening in some areas. And here's a little clip from a video that I found where they actually have robots moving around in neighborhoods. And normally these are just there to, you know, surveil the neighborhood. But I think you get really commonplace over time and people start getting used to seeing those robots. And at some point, maybe we're having another conversation about adding a taser or some sort of pepper spray or an actual pistol or, you know, a projectile type device to one of these machines to do like a less lethal, which may graduate into a lethal. Again, all this is gaming, but let's just watch this video.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, only it's not. It's real. And he's currently on patrol here at the Financial Plaza.
It's a curiosity attracting lots of odd looks, with some capturing video and even posing for selfies. Many aren't quite sure what to make of it.
It's a little funny looking.
I'm thinking it will look like the Daleks character from Doctor Who. But this one is a cuter version.
It reminded me of the Wall-E movie on Disney. It's kind of crazy, futuristic.
It doesn't bother me, I don't bother it.
It's called the Nightscope K5, part of Bank of Hawaii's security team for about a month.
We think it's pretty cool. I think it really it fits Bank of Hawaii. We're a leader in banking technology and innovation, so it's only natural that we would be leading also in the cutting edge of other critical areas of our business, like security.
The K5 is weatherproof, has a 360-degree view, records HD video, and is monitored constantly. And it has sensors to prevent it from running into things. And though it can talk, it didn't talk to us. Security can even speak through the robot.
If need be, you could also press a button and a guard can engage through that telephone system.
But at 5 foot 2 inches tall and 390 pounds, it's not very intimidating.
It's kind of crazy because it says security, so it's just, I don't know what it's really protecting.
The intent of the robot is really to provide a technology tool to enhance our physical security posture for the bank and essentially make things safer around here.
So yeah, that's, that is again, things are happening. Doesn't always have to be bad, but at what point do these things turn bad is really the question that we have to start asking ourselves and really thinking about and looking at as we continue to grow, because robots aren't going anywhere. They're going to continue to, be integrated into our society. Then we have the issue of artificial intelligence. And at what point do these robots start making certain decisions based off of their programming? And if we're removing the human element out of there that can see the potential or change in an environment, what is that going to look like? So, this thing goes deep. These questions go deep. And I would really like to hear what you have to say about it in the comments. So please leave some comments below. Be sure to like and share this. And I really am going to keep tabs on what's going on in San Francisco and see if we can if we see how this is going to develop. It's really a unique situation, and I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to develop, and I'm sure you are too. So let's continue to stay in contact. Remember to like and share this page, and hit that bell for notifications for when I'm putting out new stuff. All right, this is Hakeem again, your Survive You Dean, and remember our goal is always to get ready, be ready, and stay ready.
The enforcement droid, Series 209, is a self-sufficient law enforcement robot. 209 is currently programmed for urban pacification, but that is only the beginning. After a successful tour of duty in old Detroit, we can expect 209 to become the hot military product for the next decade.